Good evening. I wish to call the Lee County Board of Commissioners to order on this November 20th of 2023. I want to say thank you for attending today. Just a reminder, if your cell phone is not muted, I'd encourage you to do that at this time. But if you happen to have forgot to have done it and it rings, we'll stop and let you continue with business. I used to do that with my college students. If you would please stand for the invocation for a moment of silence, followed by a pledge of allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As you have the agenda in front of you, we do need to add on item 6B under new business, the Central Pines Regional Council's Thriving Communities Grant application. We had that added this morning. Are there any other changes to the agenda?
Mr. Chair, if there's no objections, I'd like to move item 5A to consent.
Item 5A, consider changing the time of the December 4th meeting to consent agenda. Any other changes?
6A.
6A is the Pay It LLC agreement.
Correct.
Move that to consent agenda.
And I'd like to ask, I think Central Pines is Commissioner Carver's committee.
True.
You object to it going on consent? And
No problem at all.
no money involved.
Okay, you want to add the Central Pines Regional Council's Thriving Communities Grant application to the consent agenda as well?
That's correct.
Okay. Any other changes?
That's it for me.
All right. As the agenda has been amended, we have old business 5A to the consent agenda, new business 6A to the consent agenda, and new business 6B to the consent agenda. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Now need to approve the consent agenda as amended.
Move to
Motion's
approve
been-
it. Move to approve as amended.
Motion's been made to approve the consent agenda as amended. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's a future taxpayer there. Moving right along, next item on the agenda is presentation of proclamation.
Oh, yes. Stay. Come back, yeah, let him run.
It's my honor to present this proclamation honoring Debbie Davidson and her years of service to Lee County government. Whereas Debbie Davidson has worked with Lee County government for more than 36 years, which began with her role as Accounting Clerk 4 in the now Senior Services Department, formerly the Department of Aging, in February of 1986 and was promoted to accounting clerk, director assistant in April of 1987, then administrative assistant in May of 1996, before taking on the role of executive director of senior services in June of 1997 and adding the divisions of County of Lee County Transit System, COLTS, and Veteran Services along the way. And whereas Ms. Davidson and former Department of Aging Director Pam Adams had a vision for the Enrichment Center as a place to house meals sites for across Lee County so attendees could meet as a group for lunch and participate with other Lee County citizens ages 60 and better in senior services programming. And whereas in 1989, Ms. Davidson and Ms. Adams create a nonprofit called the Lee County Senior Center, Incorporated, to raise money and develop plans for a new facility, which the Lee County Board of Commissioners approved a $1 million bond referendum to be placed on the May 8, 1990 ballot. And the referendum passed, resulting in the completed 15,800 square foot enrichment center in April 1992. And whereas Ms. Davidson, along with the County Commissioner Robert Reeves, former County Manager Bill Cowan, and the late Robert Bob Brown, consolidated the Lee County Human Services Agency Transportation Services when she applied for and received the first grant of $55,000 from the Community Transportation Association of America, which eventually led to the establishment of COLTS in 1992. And whereas COLTS was further expanded after Ms. Davidson and Ms. Adams submitted a request to the Board of Commissioners, which was approved, to apply for Section 18 funding and enter into an agreement with the North Carolina Department of Transportation to provide public transportation for the residents of Lee County. And whereas Ms. Davidson has led the Enrichment Center through 5 consecutive North Carolina Division of Aging and Adult Services Senior Center certifications of excellence since the inception of the certification program in 2005, as well as led COLTS through successful North Carolina Department of Transportation proficiency and safety reviews. And these designations and successes have established the Enrichment Center, Senior Services, COLTS, and Veteran Services as a model and standard for peers within the state and nationally. And whereas it is the desire of the Lee County Board of Commissioners to congratulate the achievements of Ms. Davidson and to express appreciation to her for her dedicated service and many contributions to Lee County. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Lee County Board of Commissioners that it recognizes and honors the more than 36 years Debbie Davidson has invested in furthering the mission and purpose of the Lee County government, and it wishes for Ms. Davidson continued success in all her endeavors. Presented this 20th day of November 2023, signed by myself and attested by Haley Hall, the clerk to the board. Thank you.
Picture.
Here, roll me over there.
Well, my mama was helping with a fundraiser. Oh, yeah.
I do need to have a vote to approve the proclamation. Motion's been made to approve the proclamation for Miss Debbie Davidson. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Y'all are going to let me retire. I'll try not to cry this time. I got choked up at my retirement reception last week, but Mr. Reeves, we go back, way back. And I told him I wasn't sure which one was going to outlast the other one, so I guess you're going to outlast me. But we're probably not done yet, by the way, with the transit board. But thank you all. It's been my pleasure. Wonderful team back here, wonderful family here, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. And it's been a wonderful ride, and looking forward to the next season of my life. And I won't be a stranger. I kind of feel like you'll still be seeing me. So anyway, thank you all.
Thank you.
The clerk's going to kill me. Seeing that we have nothing else on the agenda, would you like to give the strategic plan report?
I sure would.
Everyone has a copy at their seat. I already told my wife I was going to be in about an hour and a half.
Ooh.
But that's okay, she's doing her Mrs. Claus thing, so sewing machine is whizzing as we speak.
All right. Well, I am,
machine.
sorry, Bill. All right, I'll just go on my tiptoes. Okay. So I am so glad to report that we have items in all of our key areas between several of our departments here. So it's always good to see, you know, the progress we've been making on the plan, and for us to highlight these accomplishments. The library has several things on here, and we have quite a few in community safety and health and well-being with the new Renew and health and well-being initiatives, and some of the things that have come out of that, such as meetings with the local nonprofits. And then in partnerships, I'd also like to note that because our leadership and Lee County Schools leadership has been meeting on a monthly basis to, you know, not only strengthen relationships there, but to, you know, share information and further the goal of improving school facilities. And that's great when we can work together with our community partners like that. Let's see here. Another thing that I wanted to note, economic development, we also had a few things, which we don't every time, so this is good to see. We have our Caterpillar agreement for that economic development project, and also, again, more leadership meetings between us and CCCC to discuss workforce development with justice involved and individuals in recovery. So I think that's a really great thing to note too. But I'm happy to go into further details or provide more information on any of these once you have a chance to read it fully. And we're also going to bring this to you at the board retreat on the Friday, the 15th. We are in year 4 out of 5 of the initial plan, so we are almost due for a complete overhaul and checking things off and adding new things on. So we'll be bringing that information to you and likely put out another RFP in the coming months for a new plan.
Thank you. Commissioner Sharp, do you have any questions?
I do not.
Commissioner Reeves?
No, but thank you for the progress you're making.
Thank you. We couldn't do it without all of our team.
Commissioner Vorbeck?
No, sir.
Commissioner
Thank
Connect? Commissioner,
Just thank you for the work you've done and the updates and continually showing us we're making progress, because I know it's been done in the past, and we've had a plan, and it's just been planned. But thank you for your work and everybody else's work on it. Thank you.
thank you. Commissioner Levick. Commissioner Carver?
None, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, the next item on the agenda is the August 2023 sales tax report. Ms. Eisman?
Good evening. Tonight, I have the August 2023 sales tax report for you to review. Please remember, sales tax revenues run 3 months behind. Our collections are at 15.18% of the budgeted revenues for the year, and we are slightly behind last year's collections for the same period. We will continue to monitor the progress of sales tax collections to determine if budget adjustments need to be made.
Questions for Ms. Eisman? Commissioner Carver?
No, thank you.
Commissioner Levick?
No questions, thank you.
Commissioner Connect?
Thank you.
Commissioner Vorbeck?
No, sir.
Commissioner Reeves?
None.
Commissioner Sharp?
None.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Trying to get the manager's report up and it's not pulling up. There it is. I love this thing.
Before I start the regular report, I would like to recognize Melanie Rogers, who will be taking over senior services as of December 1st. And Melanie's been with us in that department since 1992. She came right before I did. So she will be taking that over, as I said, December 1st.
Congratulations, Melanie.
So, moving on to our report and our ongoing projects, we have the multi-sports complex. We held a pre-construction meeting on 11/6 with Sanford Contractors to start that project, and outline the next steps. We have submitted an application to the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality for a notice of intent to allow construction on site. And a notice to proceed to initiate construction was issued to Sanford Contractors on 11/9 from McAdams. So we have officially started that project. Sanford Contractors has held a pre-construction meeting with the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality to finalize approvals to start construction on the site. We are planning the groundbreaking ceremony as of 12/8/23, and we will be getting invitations and more information out to you as soon as it becomes available on that date, for that date. We continue to work with Southeast Aquatics to resolve the final payment on the Horton Pool project. Phase 1 and Phase 2 of Kiwanis Children's Park and Temple Park. Playground equipment has been 99% installed at Temple. The church, the contractor there, has a few final things to finalize on the playground equipment. The restroom, shelter, and rough ends have been installed, and plumbing permits have been approved. The concrete slab was poured on 11/6, and Jeremy Thomas Engineering is continuing to work on the water and sewer connections for the restrooms. So we're hoping to get that up and running soon. There was no changes since the last report on Kiwanis Children's Park. We're still waiting to go out to bid on that one. The library building, the construction documents continues to progress in that phase. Fines Architecture and Lee County are continuing to value engineer designs to ensure targeted cost of the construction project can be achieved. The library project is scheduled for the November Technical Review Committee meeting, and Jeremy Thomas Engineering has finalized the design for the outside sewer connection to the site and submitted it to the city for approval. We are having to do additional geotech site testing at the request of Vines to finalize the location of the site's dry pond for the stormwater management. On the historic courthouse, Hobbs has provided 100% design development drawing sets and estimated construction costs to Lee County and the North Carolina State Historic Preservation Office for review. And we are continuing to review the information. We'll follow up with Hobbs and the team on Tuesday, or they did on Tuesday, 11/14. We should be able to do the roof repair within the grant funds, and they are trying to stay on top of that to make sure that we stay within our timeframes, since that grant does have a deadline of August 24. Feasibility study for the jail. The contract has been finalized and executed with Mosley Architects to perform the Lee County Jail feasibility study. Kickoff meeting was held on 11/15 with Mosley and Lee County to discuss the feasibility study in detail and provide a walkthrough of the current jail facility. It is estimated that the study will take 25 weeks to complete from kickoff to presentation of the final report. The Comprehensive Fire Services Study and Long Range Plan that was, the board approved North Carolina Fire Chiefs to complete the study at the 10/16 meeting. The group did meet with the Fire Advisory Board on 10/26, and they plan to have a meeting with the fire chiefs on 11/30/23, and a kickoff meeting was held with the key stakeholders on 11/6. So we're hoping that project will keep moving forward. You have various reports listed there that are attached, and just a couple of notes on upcoming meetings. The board will be meeting on December 4th at 12 o'clock at the Miss Swain Center. We will have as I mentioned earlier, the groundbreaking for the Lee County Athletic Park on December 8th. And then we have your retreat on December 14th and December 15th. We'll meet here at 5:30 on the 14th, and then again at 8:30 on the 15th. Now, we'll be in the conference room area on the Thursday night, and then we'll be in the classroom area over here on the Friday. And then please note the change of dates for our regular meetings in January due to holidays. We'll be meeting on January 8th and January 22nd instead of our normal 1st and 3rd.
And we have 12 p.m. as the meeting times?
No, that was a mistake that we didn't catch. Those meetings will be at our regular times at 6 o'clock. Sorry about that. Thank you for catching that.
Any questions of the manager? Commissioner Sharp?
None.
Commissioner Reeves?
No, but I'd like to thank him for this agenda. I can get out of here in a few minutes. Thank you, that's it.
Commissioner Vorbeck?
No, sir.
Commissioner Connect? Commissioner Lovick?
No questions, thank you.
Commissioner Carver?
No questions, thank you.
Okay. That means the next item on the agenda is commissioner comments, so we'll start with Commissioner Carver.
I just want to mention one thing. Recently, I heard a testimony by an individual who was involved in drugs, and because of her interaction with law enforcement, she found herself in the presence of somebody that had compassion on her and took an interest, and for that moment, it ended up changing her mind. And she was able to get into drug rehab, and she really credited the involvement of law enforcement with making that happen. I know that story is repeated a number of times with our sheriff's department, and I just really appreciate their conscientious involvement with people who are suffering, and I think they're doing a great job. No other comments.
Commissioner
Oh, wait a
Levitt.
minute, I'm gonna
Okay.
say, hey, I'm trusting everybody's gonna have a great Thanksgiving, and I'm looking forward to that parade on the 4th. I think that'll be great.
Commissioner Lovick.
Yes, happy retirement to Miss Debbie. That's well deserved after 36 years. Thank you for the work for our county on that. Congratulations, Miss Melanie, I know she's gonna step up and do us a great job also. Thank you for that. I had the privilege along with Commissioner Smith and Commissioner Vorbeck to do the mock trials over at
Job interviews.
Interviews.
Yeah, wasn't mock trials.
Mock trials.
Mock interviews. Some of them felt like a trial, though, in a way. But a trial interview for them, how about that? But no, that was very interesting. Gave some of our youth coming up some skills on interviews, and think y'all admit it's pretty interesting, a different perspective of some of our youth coming up. And the final thing, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I know our offices will be closed, a much little deserved break, and we'll get ready for our holidays. Thank you.
Commissioner Connect.
Just hope everybody has a happy and blessed Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Commissioner Vorbeck.
Yep, just repeating everyone, everyone have a wonderful Thanksgiving, safe if you're traveling or if you're being able to hang out with friends or family. And the interviews with Southern Lee were definitely very interesting. We have some youth that are really interested in going into the Army and the Air Force and the Navy, which was really fun to see that's something that they're looking to pursue. And yeah, thank you guys.
Commissioner Reeves.
Happy Thanksgiving, and if I were you, I'd hide the scales until next week. You know what's gonna happen. I do want to say that when Miss Davis took over the senior center, I thought it was very interesting. She didn't flinch. She didn't whine. She took the reins and never looked back. And I had great respect for the fact that we had an agreement. You're the director. I'm just a lowly county commissioner. Do your job. When you need our help, let me know. And she followed those instructions to the T, and she's done a terrific job all these years, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Sharp.
Yeah, congratulations, Ms. Rogers. It sounds like you got some big shoes to fill, but if you've been working since 1992, I'm sure you're trained real well. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and as everyone has said, be safe and have a happy Thanksgiving.
And I'll echo that sentiment on the Thanksgiving, but Ms. Davison has always been on the ball of letting me know when something's coming down from the state. Well, they've got new employees up there, and they have a tendency to not know the procedures, so that I don't know what's coming. And in this day of IT issues where people are phishing and things like that, I get these ungodly sign this document, and I have no idea what it is. There's no point of contact, so I always have to interact with Debbie to say, who is it that needs to know that they need to let me know it's coming, so that I don't automatically assume it's a phishing attempt. But that's what Debbie had to do, so I want to say, Ms. Rogers, please be aware that, just remind them folks up there that before they send something, let me know what's coming, and at least communicate with you as well. And I will sign that document tonight, so when I get done here. But that being said, as far as the mock job interviews, I had a lot of realtors. They wanted to go into real estate, so I found that fascinating. One person in the Navy. But it was fun, it was great, it was a lot of energy in these young people, a lot of motivation. They know what they want to do, and what they're going to do is kind of impressive. Some of them had some fidgeties and things like that, but they'll work around it. That's what the exercise was for. So without further ado, I do want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and please be safe if you're traveling. And as Commissioner Reeves said, probably want to stay away from the scales for a day or two, at least until after the first of the year.
Move to adjourn.
Motion's been made to adjourn. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are now adjourned. Thank you.
I'm mad. You're right. I knew that's what.